Hi, I'm Luke Timmerman, founder and editor of the Timmerman Report and a contributing writer at Forbes. I'm here today at the BioCEO and Investor Conference in New York with David Thomas. He's the Director of Industry Research and Policy at Bio. And Dave just recently put together a report on venture capital investment trends. So glad to have you here, Dave.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit first off about what were some of the main findings from your report?
So what we did was we looked at 10 years of venture capital and we tagged all of the investments that have gone in at the specific times they went in, the tranches within rounds, as to what therapeutic area they were in, sub-indication, and the type of drug, whether it was a large molecule, small molecule, phase of development, and also the level of innovation. So were these drugs that had been approved before, or were they drugs that have been approved and were being used for delivery or reformulation?
New indications.
Or new indications. So it's two groups, the new indications versus therapies that have been approved.
Okay.
And what we found was that overall, for a 10-year investment horizon, you have $38 billion going into venture capital, and 80%, roughly 80% of that went into novel investment. So innovation is alive and well, broadly speaking, for the drug development companies that are receiving investment. And that's good, but we also, going back to how we tagged all of those investments, the therapeutic areas, some of them are reversed. And we found that with an endocrine, for example, you have type 2 diabetes that has a pretty significant drop-off of the novel investment and has turned in the last number of years to more of a delivery area. So delivering insulin and GLP-1 and other molecules that have been approved, as opposed to early investment into novel mechanisms. And you also see that in the pain area as well. So overall, the areas where you have very large patient populations and chronic disease, you see a very large drop-off in the last 5 years versus the first 5 years of the study. So what went up is the rare disease category, and a few others as well.
Now, what about late-stage investment versus early stage? A lot of people are always curious about what sort of seed corn is the industry planting for the future.
So the early stage investment is probably one of the more interesting areas where we see fewer companies being formed in biotech. So we had a peak in 2006 of 89 companies, and then 2013 only 63 companies being started at the Series A level, not the seed round, but the larger Series A round. That means that companies that are looking for money, that are, let's say, seed stage companies, are having a tougher time getting that syndicate to form the Series A. But what's interesting is that when you look at the Series A dollar amount, you actually see more dollars going in to those companies. So it's not like money is not there, it's just the process has become much more selective.
Fewer winners, but bigger winners.
That's right. Exactly.
Well, what were the biggest surprises to you when you looked over the data?
So I would say ophthalmology, which we actually originally categorized as an other disease area, it became so big that we had to make it into one of the primary disease areas in our report. And over the same time frame, it actually went up, just like the rare disease investment went up. That took me by surprise. Also, the level of platform company investments. So we had a lot of biologics companies, which obviously is not a surprise, but the percent of total venture that's going into biologics shifted from 27% to 50% of all venture capital. And I thought that was pretty striking.
Very interesting. Well, it's a great report. Thanks for doing it, Dave. Thanks for being here at the
Thank you.
conference.